Apple co-founder Steve Jobs may not be among us today, but through his innovations, he will reign in the hearts of millions in the coming decades. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California, and succumbed to cancer on October 5, 2011. Jobs joined a program at Stanford University on June 12, 2005, where he delivered his famous speech, "Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish," sharing 3 stories from his life. Jobs recounted, "I was kicked out of college, but before I explain why, let me tell you the story of my birth. My mother was a college student and unmarried. She thought she would give me up for adoption to a graduate couple. It was decided before my birth that I would be adopted by a lawyer and his wife, but they wanted a son, not a daughter. When I was born, the adopting parents were told that I was a boy, and suddenly they were ready to adopt me. When my mother found out that the adopting parents were not graduates, she refused to give me up. A few months later, my mother softened when the adopting parents promised to send me to college. At the age of 17, I got admitted to college. During my studies, I realized that my parents' entire income was being spent on my education. I couldn't figure out what I would do with my life. Eventually, I decided to drop out of college and find a job. At that time, it may not have been the right decision, but looking back today, I feel it was absolutely right. I didn't have a room to stay in, so I slept on the floor in my friend's room. I sold Coke bottles to have some money to eat. I used to walk 7 miles to Krishna Temple for food. Reed College was famous for calligraphy worldwide. Beautiful handmade posters adorned the entire campus. I thought, why not learn calligraphy myself? I learned serif and sans serif typefaces. I combined different words with these typefaces to create typography with dots. 10 years later, I designed the first Macintosh computer. It was my first computer design with beautiful typography. If I hadn't dropped out of college and learned calligraphy, I wouldn't have been able to do this. In this matter, I was very lucky to do what I wanted in life. Wozniak and I started Apple in a garage. I was 20 years old at that time. We worked hard, and within 10 years, we reached great heights. A company that started with 2 people in a garage reached billions and employed 4,000 people. We released our best creation, Macintosh. As the company grew, we chose a talented person to run it. In the first year, the company did very well, but our vision for the future failed. When I was 30, I was fired from the company. I couldn't believe I could be fired from my own company. After that, in 5 years, I started a new company called Next, and then another company called Pixar. Pixar made the world's first computer-animated feature film, Toy Story. Today, this studio is considered the best animation studio in the world. Later, Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple. We created technology that gave Apple a new life. I think if I hadn't been fired from Apple, I couldn't have done all this. Sometimes there are moments in life, but we shouldn't be afraid of them. Keep your eyes on your goal and keep moving forward. Having a goal in life is very important. Without it, you cannot move forward. When I was 17, I read a quotation that went something like, "Live every day as if it's your last, and one day it will surely be your last." This statement had a great impact on me. For 33 years, every morning I look at my face in the mirror and think, if today were my last day, what would I want to do? I didn't find an answer to my question for many days. The thought that I might die soon inspires me to do more in life. Just a few years ago, I found out I had cancer. The doctor told me I would only live for 3 to 6 months. He told me to tell my family about my illness and my work. I underwent treatment, had surgery. Now I am perfectly fine. I saw death very closely. No one wants to die, but death is a reality that everyone has to face one day.